Hi, my name is Jade and welcome to my channel. I've been living in Mexico for about 4 months now and I'm really excited to share my experience. Before I moved here, I did a lot of research through TikTok, blogs, YouTube, just to see what the environment was like, what the people was like, and things that I needed to know before I moved. First thing is that you absolutely need pesos. So when you leave the airport, make sure that you get the best conversion rate that you can get and get you some pesos. A lot of the food vendors out here, a lot of the street vendors do not take card. The only places that are consistent with taking cards are the tourist areas. However, you're not always going to be in the tourist area. Two are the grocery stores. When I first arrived, I was further out in the country towards the jungle, and when I got there, I realized that nobody spoke English. It was very, very overwhelming at first. Everything was in Spanish, trying to find new footing in a Spanish country, and no one could really help me out. But I will say, I had my translator out and I was ready to communicate and do whatever it is that I needed to do to get around. In the grocery stores, everything is in Spanish. So no surprise, everything's in Spanish. So you really need to definitely have your translator or brush up on the language, brush up on grocery store words, like the top 5 things that you may need to know. It was probably going to be more than 5, but you get what I'm saying. When I was out closer in the country / jungle, they did not have a lot of the American foods, condiments that I'm used to, and that was definitely an adjustment. During that period, I ended up making new recipes, trying out new foods, and so I still really appreciate them not having the food that I'm used to. I will say, once you get closer to the tourist area, closer towards the beach, there are a lot more American condiments. The closer you get, there's a few grocery stores out here. It's called the Chedraui. There are a lot more American condiments, a lot more familiar foods, seasonings, and things of that nature that will make you feel more at home if you want to make your favorite dish or anything. Another thing about moving closer into the tourist area that I really appreciate is that there are more people who speak just a little bit of English, just to help me get around. Sometimes my phone doesn't have service and I'm still learning the language. I learned a lot more in these past 4 months, but however, I'm not a native speaker, and they're able to help me out, or they're able to even have a broken conversation with me in order to assist me and help me to where I'm going. One thing that I will say about this place is that everyone's so friendly. I don't know if it's because I stand out. Obviously, I'm Black in a Spanish country, but everyone's friendly. You see people down the street, you're going to say hi a lot. You're going to say hi a lot, what's up, good afternoon, and all of those things. So I actually really appreciate just interacting with people and becoming more familiar with them as I visit the same places. It's kind of comforting, especially once I get like my own little routine down and they're like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? It's very comforting, especially being down here by myself. One thing that I was fully not aware of was that they do not have Uber here. They do have their own taxi system, which you can order through WhatsApp. They have an app for it, but the app doesn't work on my phone. And when I look up the reviews, it doesn't work on a lot of American people's phones. However, you can order a taxi on WhatsApp and they'll be there within 10 minutes or less. So that's really cool. It is a little bit different ordering a taxi via WhatsApp because it's like you have to say hello. You're doing the courtesies because you're speaking to someone who is an actual person versus just ordering on Uber. And of course, you have to order it in Spanish. So again, just really talking to people, learning more words, and learning how to talk and learning how to phrase things and things of that nature. What I will say is that, again, you're going to need some pesos because some of the taxis take card and some of them don't take card. So always, always, always keep some pesos on hand. And if you're worried about the taxis, don't worry too much because once you get to the tourist area of Playa del Carmen, a lot of it is walkable. I can walk about 2 to 3 miles a day, well, one way, so about 6 miles round trip, and it won't feel like it outside of the heat. But it is a very walkable city. A lot of things are within reach, and even if you do order a cab, it'll probably be like 50 pesos or things of that nature. Another issue that I hear when people are thinking about moving to Mexico is safety. What I will say is that I feel a lot safer here than I did when I was in America. There's been times where I've walked down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning looking for food or walking back from the club and have had 0 issues. I would absolutely never do that in Atlanta. granted, I do live in a tourist area, so there are lots of people walking around at that time. However, I feel a lot safer than I would under normal circumstances in America, specifically Atlanta. Another thing that I wish that I had known before I moved down here was about conversion fees. I was using a bank card and I racked up a lot of conversion fees. At first I was just like, what's this? Like I didn't know that my bank would charge me that. But then once I switched over to a credit union card that I also had with me, I did not experience any conversion fees, which thank God, because that was chipping away at my funds and my budget. But very grateful for that, and just knowing that and figuring that out, and just knowing that I can swipe my card and not accrue even more fees than what I'm already paying. If you are looking for a place to stay, you can always stay in the Airbnb. If you have a different budget, you can also, look in the Facebook Marketplace. There's lots of Facebook groups that offer housing, but make sure and to beware of scams, because there are some scammers out here and they will take advantage of you not speaking the language, not fully knowing the country, and things of that nature. So if you look hard and do your due diligence, you will definitely find a place to stay. Those are the top tips that I have about moving to Playa del Carmen. I will update later on this week in talking about places that I like to go, beaches that I love to visit, and where to get the best bang for your buck around the city. So stay tuned. See you next time.